Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Graham Morrison. I am joined by Cyberwaste. This is some Div 2 Ascent action. And Cyberwaste, something has to give for this game because MG Sharks, Fat 11, they are both winless right now. So we are going to see the streak end.
It just depends which one will end up getting the ever elusive W. We'll have to wait and see, and hopefully some good tidings will actually come to both of these teams, because in the Ascent League and all the divisions, everybody's been hungry to try and prove who is, well, the top dog, and hopefully this is the start of a journey for either one of these teams.
And this is kind of like the reverse of the WrestleMania streak. It's like how long will this will the unstoppable end? Well, for one of these teams, their quest for a win will finally be rectified.
Indeed, and hopefully in a good stead. And now we'll briefly run through where these skirmishes and battles will take place. We have a map pool for Ascent, which has actually just eluded me briefly. Here we are. We will start on Ilios to open, and then whoever loses will get the pick of the two maps that are on offer in the next round. It is a best of 5 series, so the magic number for both of these teams will be 3. 3 maps, and you scratch yourself a W on the board and in the books. To start off, we will go to Ilios, and then for Escort, we have the choice of Route 66 and Junkertown. And then moving on, we will have our assault section, which will be either Hanamura or Volskaya Industries. And for our hybrid point, we will have Hollywood or Blizzard World. And then to conclude, we will have Oasis, which will be a control section. And for any disciplines that do end up in a tie, like assault and hybrid, do have the predicaments where they do end up in draws or ties. We go to Lijiang Tower to decide who wins the map.
We are just looking for that lobby invite. It looks like I've got finally a player inviting me, so we should be getting in here, getting ready to go shortly. We'll just be on my way.
And I will not be too close behind. And SJ Sharks, that name is actually familiar. I believe we have casted them in the past, or I have at least, for the what was known as the Australian Amateur Overwatch League until their recent rebranding into being a ladder instead of a league.
All right, and I sent you an invite, Cyberwaste, so we should be here momentarily. We're all waiting on the other team, so we're gonna be talking for a little bit. And just quickly, I need to find our producer. We'll actually have everybody in here, which would be something special.
Indeed, because what is a game without any eyes to see it? We will need our producer for that. And I've got his Battle.net. I can get him in very shortly.
Yeah, I felt that he wasn't worth having on my friends list, so No, it's that's always the miracle, is when you get to this point in the game and you're like, wait a second, I don't have someone I need. But now we have who we need. We're here. We're happening. It's time. The time is what? The time is now. We can't see Evan because he's not here, but his time is now.
I sometimes love you, Graham, and sometimes I don't know how I put up with you.
Believe me, I don't know how I put up with myself.
That is a fair call. And now I think we do have all 12 in the server, and we've been given a stiff proposition, which sadly I don't think my comrade Graham will be able to participate because he is a not a resident of Australia. He's Canadian.
Yeah, I don't know what this means, but we've
Okay.
been told to ask you guys what their well, they spelled their wrong. Can I just quickly call out Primex for that?
Yeah,
But they
yes,
want to know what your
please.
fave Smith's chips flavor is.
And to give in my thing to debate, it's the chicken flavor because it doesn't taste like actual chicken. It is so artificial. It is almost criminal, but it's beautiful. Just don't go through an entire.
You're saying that's your favorite, or are you just stealing Bort's answer?
No, it is actually my favorite. I've loved it since I was a
Oh,
kid.
okay.
Maybe that's why. Maybe that's why I. Maybe that's why my mouth goes dry every single time I go through an entire bag and I'm begging for the water bottle.
See, every time I see chicken now, like Arrested Development has broken me because all I think is Job's chicken dance, as he dances around, sounding nothing like a chicken and looking nothing like a chicken.
That's
I love Arrested
beautiful.
Development, a great show.
It is indeed.
I should change my name to Job.
By
Job the caster.
By Job, you might be onto something. But well, with all that said and done, we have our map pool that we've just run through, but we need our players to do it, and we can do that for you now. For the side of MG Sharks, not to be confused with the other sharks that are good with hockey sticks or in Disney movies, we do have Thorstwoon, Jevi, Noir, Primex or Primex. I'm gonna probably chop and change between those two. Glassy Shazy.
Glacy Shazy, come
Glacy
on.
Shazy.
It's got a rhyme.
Glacy Shazy. Oh god, I'm silly. Add TCAC 265, and if you run through the Fat 11, please, Graham.
Well, they've got Shiny. They have an avocado. They have I dubstep zzz. Eric's Bort in Duddles. He's taking him to Duddlestown.
Welcome to Duddlesville. Population that guy. I wonder if Bort. Do you remember the gag in The Simpsons where they have the Bort license plate?
No.
No. I wonder if he actually has a Bort license plate.
I'm just gonna let that one sit there for a second. I just want to appreciate that there's a guy who's like in this game whose name is an avocado. Like that's so good. Oh, hey, we got the answers rolling in. People are saying salt and vinegar. People are saying barbecue for that chip. I'm gonna let them know.
Ooh, barbecue. Good choice. I'll give you that one. Salt and vinegar, I just can't get behind. I don't know why.
Do you guys have ketchup chips?
They're tomato sauce chips, and yeah, but they're usually in a limited. They're in a limited run usually.
How about all dressed? Those are like the two Canadian.
What? Hang on. What?
Never heard of all dressed chips?
There? No. Please enlighten us.
I don't know how much more I can enlighten. It's like how do I explain this? They're like potato. Yeah. So like Ruffles' actual description of it is they like potato chips flavored with all the dressings: ketchup, salt, vinegar, barbecue, sour cream, onions, and other mysterious seasons. They're actually amazing.
Is it all on one chip, or are they just different?
Yeah. No, it's all on one chip.
That sounds unique.
It's actually really good.
And I will actually drag out Primex, the initial answer of this question. Can you tell the streamer that barbecue is trash? No, I will not give them a false pretense because that is not the case. But with all that said and done, we are now going to Iliosa. We have the lighthouse first.
Bort says it's okay to your garlic bread is good comment. So we'll see, Applesauce Steve. A couple people are not against you.
Yeah, because there actually is a garlic bread chip.
Huh.
Yeah.
Is it like a
fine.
pita chip?
No, these are all ruffle chips. What you call ruffle chips. We're called Griggle Cut, and
Oh.
they're not good. Mind you, I
So
haven't had the
they're
garlic bread ones, so I can't really say.
so they're not pita chips, but they're kind of a pita chip.
I'm gonna take your word for it, because that is a new term to me.
If you say it fast and with a little accent, it sounds more like piece of. Was what I was going for.
Can we not touch that? Either way, the curious thing about MG Sharks, they are running the single tank double healer.
One tank is all you need, but Duddles has fallen. That's a sad bill for him. So we got the pressure on this point right now, trying to engage, looking for any kills that can be found, but Bort, he's aborted his mech, trying to run away as Dubsteps gets a nice kill onto Noir. That is the Tracer falling. And Primex is up top right now, running in some arrows, falling back down, juking around as this point is still being attempted to be contested as Dubsteps gets another kill there onto the Lucio.
He could be the extreme X factor. There goes the coalescence from Jemmy, trying to keep both his team up and the opposition to keel to their knees. And there goes to the hands of Eric's False Wounds. Winston will be put to the endangered list because he's down in the water. Jemmy will follow suit. And the point, after a little bit of fighting, they got there in the end. Fat 11 now have the point and are accruing the percentage themselves.
Well, it's going to be evening up shortly. Even Ulti's on the field right now, although it's a little bit more of an advantage to MG Sharks on the Ulti side, just based on what they have up. However, starting to even up very shortly as they are on the point right now, putting some pressure.
Dubstep's got dinked down by an arrow, and they've got one right through his chest, thanks to the Hanzo there. And now the battle back has begun. MG Sharks are really wanting to have a go. Primex has used the Dragon Strike, sent the Wolves under after the opposition, and there goes the Transcendence to nullify a lot of that. Lazy Shady has also been made into a non-factor, so Fat 11 are definitely hanging on for the time being and will hold on with authority.
Well, that is going to be a lot of dead people. Glacy Shazy is the only one there. He's just poking and prodding, seeing if he can't build that ulti up a little bit higher. He's only on 62% right now. However, on the defense, they've got two ultis on the field already to use, should they so choose. However, Noir, he needs to hit some of these shots on this Widowmaker. He's got the wall hack, so they know where he is, and there's Duddles going down. That's a nice shot by Noir.
But the big thing about Deb's side for this Deadeye, there is no Diva on the opposite end to absorb any of it. So if anybody's in the line of sight of him, Dubsteps will have a field day and definitely tell everybody what time it is. But it won't be much use if the rest of Fat 11 fall down around and Board is the only person to reply. They are at 99%, which is a good omen for now. But the call is to abandon the push, and Fat 11 will recoil and aim to give it another go at a later juncture.
Well, 99% for Fat 11. MG Sharks are ever climbing the mountain that is life of Overwatch and stuff. But we got the ults coming in. The dragons are going through. They're not going to find anything, though. Good job juking away from those as they get in onto this point. The contention is starting to come through. Will they punch around? Duddles is going to get the pick onto the Moira, which is a lovely start. He's knocked something else off the cliff as well. That is Primex. So it's a two huge kills with that Primal Rage. Dragon Blade, though, for Glacy Shazy, chimes back in with one. Noir gets another as well. They're still looking for kills, but it is going Fat 11's way. Delay is coming in as well as it can. Will these kills be enough? Can they find them? They're getting off the point. It's starting to be capped around. Somebody's get on it. It will be Jemmy just in time with that coalescence popped up. But the kills, they're still going Fat 11's way. Brigida is here. They're being knocked off the point. 2 healers, 3 healers now on the point. That's all that there is. The delay, though, it is being good. Will they get on it? Is anyone close enough? It looks like it will flip, and there we have it. No, the Winston's here, Cyberwaste.
Did not last long, and the Hammond was slowly coming in as well, but Glazer Shazy will be ejected by Boar, and in amongst that flurry, an elongated fight where the point had actually changed possession in the middle of it. Oh, breathe. And Fat 11 are now 1-0 up in the set of Ilios. And up next, we are going to Well, and we will wait and see how these setups will adapt to this new point. We see Prime X with the ever so much feared Roadhog, and we'll expect him to use the Pit of Death and the edges of the map to great effect. Should he stick to it? No. He's gone with the Tried Edge True Brigitte. The gates are down. The Well is open for business, Graham. Let's hook in.
They are out on the point early as the wraparound is starting to come through. Will it be successful, though, is the $1,000,000 question. They are engaging in the little house there beside the point. Dubsteps gets a nice opening kill onto Thoughtspoon. Noir chimes back in, demeching the Diva, though, Cyber. So this is either way right now.
And Primax has actually gotten the better of Shiny's Brigade, so you can basically call it straight down the middle. Well, not anymore with Noir going down into the eternal blackness that is the pit. Dubstep has gotten rid of the shot. And despite Dubstep going down to Thoughtspoon's Mighty Hammer, the point will belong to Fat 11 in the opening gambit.
And with them already one up, you know, they're going to be thrilled with the way that this is going. Primal Ridge is coming through. It's a little bit of an interesting choice, but he's got them all boxed into a corner right now. Doing a good job delaying, but Doodles will go down, giving his life away there. And now Brigade of Charge coming forward as they start to engage, getting in deep right now. Looking around and Thoughtspoon getting 3! That's massive! Make that a 4th on the Dubsteps. And that will wrench the point away nice and easy.
Easy as you like, and Doodles may be regretting using that Primal Rage in such an aggressive manner, trying to batter everybody back. It was essentially useless, and that was one of the bigger tanks taken off of the table that could have been used to bolster the defense, albeit it might have been considered slightly, and that will put MG Sharks definitely in the driver's seat, especially with Eric's going down early. And that is just an absolutely insane display, and now MG Sharks are really showing their bangs as well.
Both of these teams desperate for their first win. Any piece of the pie they can show, any little glimmer of hope will be massive for their squads. But the Brigade Charge, heard that one come out. Where are these players? They're wrapping around the far backside. Just the way they came in at the very beginning of this fight, but Brigade ult is already faded. I'm not entirely sure that was the right use.
Perhaps, or maybe trying to use it on top of the sound barrier to good effect. Primax has been left off the table, so that is a Brigitte, and huge piece of the puddle drop out. That is the Earth Shatter there. Does not claim any praise, but might have disrupted any potential go, and Dubstep is really laying waste with the Magistrate Peacekeeper and prying the MG Sharks defenders away oh so slowly. And now MG Sharks are purely playing for time now, darting in and out, trying to keep the point in their favor, but it will be unsuccessful in any further progress. 83 will be the final number, and now it is Fat 11's turn to close the gap.
Well, Dubstep's doing a great job on this victory, hitting a few very nice shots. And there is the Deadeye, retching away 2 out of the 5 healers that they are currently running.
And 4.5 if you think Brigitte is sort of a jack of all trades. An odd setup to be sure, but a welcome one. Depending on who you ask at least. MG Sharks are really wanting to have another go at it, but looking at the ults that are on offer, this is going to be extremely difficult. Primex has been stunned and then blown away by Boyd and self-destruct. The Lucio did follow suit. Tunnel did batter Noir back into submission. Shiny will turn heavy into scrap metal. And while MG Sharks, they've been turned into Valine whales. They don't have any teeth at all. And they're slowly running out of time.
Yeah, maybe the 5 healer approach isn't the right one. Thoughtstone's got a nice opener. He's got very nice shatter in as well. Might be able to convert something out of this. In fact, he will find a second kill. An MG Shark somehow with 5 healers. This is working out.
Well,
all right.
Well, 4, but hey, rally around the Reinhardt and his mighty hammer. It's gonna work, and that is exactly what will happen. And we have had a pause.
I'd pause too.
By Primex, and jeez, I'd be pausing too after something like that. Like, how do we lose to that? Oh,
his pizza's here.
We're pausing for pizza.
I respect that.
I definitely respect that.
Happy pizza to him.
What is this? Pizza for Overwatch game. We can definitely respect that. And pizza is one of the 5 fruit groups, depending on who you ask. And honestly, I could respect that. We'll have to ask whoever's pizza, whoever had the pizza ordered to them, what they got. I demand to know what pizza they got, and whether it will actually hinge on the success or failures to whoever put the pizza right in front of them and decide to eat.
Well, we are looking for the answer. The team, they don't know yet. They are unaware while he is paying for his pizza and picking it up. But this will be the situation we monitor for the length of this pause.
Well,
The $1 million question here, Mr. Cyber Waste, is will there be pineapple?
I'm impartial to the whole pineapple on pizza debate.
I'm banned from eating pineapple on pizza.
Oh, why is that?
Well, we had a sort of debacle at an Airbnb for a LAN I did back in February. And, oh, we got the pause coming down. I'll tell this story later.
It'll be Mr. Grant Morrison's story time in the next chance that we do get. But looking at Fat 11, they will have to really try to go, and Thoswood will drop dubsteps, and he could have been crucial if he got a Deadeye in this fight. And it looks like the attack, aside from Thoswood, who'd been dropped by Eric, I think he's got the counter of Eric! The pick! Make that a couple more! And poor Primex just booted right down into the pit. And, well, what can you say? But thank you, Mr. Erics. Brought them a huge lifeline into trying to get this point, bringing MG Sharks into all sorts of disarray. And the opposing Lucio tried to batter things back, and that hole in the ground. That hole in the ground has been a huge detriment for both sides. Both Lucios are really wanting to put on a show and say, do not stand close to the edge or you will perish.
And while this fight engages, we have confirmation it was a meat lover's pizza. And speaking of meat lovers, that pit was hungry and it ate many a people. And will it continue as this fight is elongated, looking for kills? Lacey Hayes on the 76th now has DMEC the Diva, which is a lovely start.
Definitely what you'd want in Prime X on the Wrecking Ball, really trying to lay waste to everybody else. Thoswood is definitely doing his job. Will make 2 taste the edge of his hammer. Tunnels has sat onto Thoswood and told him that he has had enough. Prime X has rolled right through Tunnels, but sadly did end up going into the pit and just pile driven his way straight down. But MG Sharks, after an elongated fight, finally batter back the bigger loving members for long enough to get themselves another point in the border. We go to Ruins to decide it all. And well, much like the pizza that was delivered in the interim, this set is chosen to be quite meaty in terms of its substance.
Well, unfortunately, I can't get a straight answer on what meats there are, but it is a meat lover pizza.
I'll go with that because it would probably have pepperoni, ground beef, bacon,
Some sausage.
probably some
Ham?
plenty of ham. Swallowed barbecue sauce across the top of it if it's the one that I'm thinking of. And
That's a little classy. I like that.
It's extremely classy, and I'm a huge fan of it. And looks like the 5 supports single Reinhardt that MG Sharks is deciding to roll with is still going, but with dubstep being on the Widowmaker now, that might not last under the eternal pressure. Tosswound does end up getting one onto an avocado. A little bit of smashed ammo for ya, but that will not be enough for him to try until Tosswound actually gets rid of dubstep and of Tunnels and the Lucio there. So despite all that, MG Sharks do end up getting to the point, and Dubsteps really has to try to rally the troops to contribute more, because it seems like despite his best efforts, it's sort of not panning out the way that it would want for the rest of the squad of Fat 11.
How can he rally the troops when he's not on Brigida?
That's a fair play. Maybe he will change. Who knows?
That might be the secret. But he is trying to rain in some headshots here off the Widowmaker as his teammates are getting in on the point. But a nice anti onto the Winston after a sleep puts him in a little bit of trouble. Will be getting healed up here. Shiny picking off the rival Brigida with a pulse bomb. Have the res come out there. So MG Sharks continue to brawl this point out. No kills have come in since the resurrection. So this is such an elongated fight with no real winner coming out so far, Cyberways.
No, and MG Sharks might have not wanted to let the boostio happen, but it was actually to very little consequence. And MG Sharks, despite all this elongation, his Primax actually goes down. This is an ideal situation for them, because the longer this goes on, the more percentage they accrue. And if they can take a lot of team members with them, the better. And Doslu and the Mighty Hammer, despite not looking as the most orthodox setup, it's proven to actually be quite fruitful. The defense actually holds strong as we go past 75.
God is my witness. This caster is broken in half. Because he is. I'm sorry, but like this composition, man. Like in the words of the immortal Jim Ross, what the hell is that? And what the hell are those shots from Dubsteps getting a couple nice picks, but still somehow this janky, bizarre, unintelligible comp is working out and paying dividends for MG Sharks. Like, what the hell is that? They're winning this point with 5 healers.
This is essentially protect the VIP, and the VIP is German, beefy, and knows how to use a hammer. He now has the nano boost he can tell with as well, so you better stand back. There is a macho giant man coming through. There goes the sound barrier to bolster him even more, and the surrounding MG Sharks forces will lay waste to the opposition. And in amongst all the oddities, all the hammer swings, all the boops, all the carnage of Helios, MG Sharks will take the win.
I don't have words, man.
No, not, because I'm not able to make sense of it either. It's the most unorthodox thing that I have seen in quite a while. Like you see triple DPS, that's fair. You see triple tank, that's been that was the standard for quite a while. Triple support? Huh? But 5 healers, no DPS. Goodness me. Hey,
In the
oddities win games. Oddities win games. A lot of people will say that.
Look, there's a difference between oddities and insanities.
Well, Vast told me the definition of insanity was doing the same exact thing over and over again, expecting things to change.
Oh, and it didn't work on well, the 5 support, so they tried it again, and that is insanity, but they got a different result. Cyberways, this doesn't make sense to me. Overwatch doesn't make sense anymore. I'm gonna be I'll be right back. 1 second.
He's actually going to get himself a beverage, and we will raise one to you and our victors of Ilios there winning the opening. Oh no, it was MG Sharks winning the opening map of Ilios, and I think we may need to get Torbjorn out here. We have a broken down caster who may need some attending to, or a beverage.
We can't do that. We can't do that. Torbjorn is banned. He cannot rebuild me.
No.
I will just continue to be a shell of myself.
We can rebuild you. We have the technology. And well, speaking of rebuilding, Fat 11 will have to rebuild their morale or even their brains after witnessing something like that they just could not figure out. That's because it is such a rarity. A 5 healer single tank composition will pay off that to that kind of sum.
You know what? Like, I'm not even going to talk about what we just saw anymore. That's in the past. That is compartmentalized in this weird corner of my brain that is like mixed in with all the other like PTSD stuff I have. And I'm focusing on Route 66. That's our next map. That's where we're going. Surely we won't see 5 support 1 Reinhardt again.
I am expecting something wonderful. And let's see how this will all pan out. Fat 11 will be on the attack first. And your defenders will be MG Sharks. And as soon as we get the preparation phase underway, we will know who will play which hero and where they will set up. And well, Mr. Graham Morrison, has your brain recovered from that, or are you in a temperamental?
I told you, it's in a compartment. I'm not thinking about that. We are not acknowledging that. We are in a new map, a new game between MG Sharks and Fat 11. That's all we need to know.
That is a fair assessment, and well, judging from things, that looks like normality has slightly returned, but we do not have a dedicated a more sustainable healer aside from Lucio. So perhaps MG Sharks try the oddities because they perhaps feel a lot more confident against their opponents in Fat 11, and while their winless run so far in Ascent may not be a true indicator of where they stand. Perhaps they feel above their opponents. We'll have to wait and see.
Well, re-engagement, or first engagement I should say, coming forward, and this is a very cubby setup right now from MG Sharks. It is not going to be whatever the hell we saw before. It's very different now, and we'll see if it works out for them. However, it is all going Fat 11's way so far.
Well, they just got a fistful of avocado, and Tossman will charge right towards the payload and end up finally going down. Although the offending avocado was taken to the depths with Tossman, so Grasscape's a good trade. There is another fight that will be underway, but Noah's already been snuffed out and already in a duel with the opposing Tracer of Shiny, and both recalls are used, and Glazier does come in with the assist and lays Shiny to waste. And now MG Sharks are really wanting to stop the brakes onto this push, and might have a good chance of doing it now that an avocado was actually centered, but Noir was actually put to bed there.
You know, there's an easy solution if they want to stonewall this. They just need 5 more supports.
Well, it's worked once before, why won't it work again? But to the contrary, this is working just fine, as Duddles is staggered there with the pulse pistols being the offenders, and Noir might be wise to get back along with Thoswoon on the Winston. And that's exactly what they will do. So this payload has no signs of moving for the foreseeable future. And we have 2 minutes 10 for the attack of Fat 11 to figure out what they're going to do next.
The agent coming forward. They're trying to find a kill. Any kill. Pulse bomb going in. Not going to do the job. Does zone them back a little bit. Minute 50 left on the clock right now. Plenty of time for them to work with as they try and find them.
Even if one pick is given to the opposing side, that is what that would be the cue to go back. The Dolls and Shiny have been basically laying waste to this attack. Noir did eject the Diva there off board, but well, that's just a minor thing. So that defense was entirely shattered. This payload will keep rolling, and well, the defenders of MG Sharks may have to make their last stand, but they can't anymore, especially with Noir going down late. So we have 3 minutes 30 on the clock between the members of Fat 11 and the second checkpoint.
It is rolling forward with a relative ease. But we've seen MG Sharks turn it on before. And they've got the ultis to use here. Pulse bomb coming in. It will find the Winston, so that's a very solid start. What else can they find here, Cyberwaste? What is there to find? What is sitting on this field that will chime in the way that they need? Well, there's Shiny doing work.
Well, Shiny did do work until it was forced to ride the lightning across the room and sent out the round. And now the Primal Rage has come out from him and is battering back the potential space that was gained by the opposition of Fat 11. So this payload will be just outside of the garage for the time being. And well, now is MG Sharks' real chance to get stuck in between fights. The rally has been called to give a little bit of a bolster to the members of MG Sharks.
Graviton coming in, good spot right now, and they're able to convert only one kill off of it. It's a little bit underwhelming for what I thought they might have grabbed, as the offense is actually the one still picking up kills. So Fat 11 doing a great job grinding their way through.
Especially with Doswin going down now, the side of MG Sharks will really have to be cautious in their battles, and maybe even more so now with Debbie no longer being on the field. And well, just based on their composition, they'll be playing more for time, but it looks like Primex and Shiny were traded. And Shiny actually got a stick onto Prime. So that was a
Tracer
big part
stop
in getting that. And well, Primex is not too happy about that, is asking Shiny to quietly cease, but I don't think so, because it's been quite entertaining how much work Shiny's actually been doing on the Tracer. As the third checkpoint, well, they're not really fighting on the point, they're fighting in one of the side covers on the way up. Does it up and dubstep, making sure this payload will keep moving unopposed.
Cuddles getting a pick onto Jevi. It's that's one. Will it be more? Will they find anything? What can they do as this cart continues to roll? Floating its way through, looking more menacing than the Yeti. And a hack coming in will be on point. Cuddles, he's still finding that kill.
And Noir decided to dive bomb in with the nano boost of Dragon Blade. And while it did not claim anyone, a lot of the scraps were softened up to the point where it's fine, we can take care of it, and the defense has been laid waste to, and this payload is now in a good enough position that this defense can get properly set up and make things a lot more difficult for the side of Fat 11 to progress. Well, to be fair to Fat 11, they do have a lot of ults in their back pocket. They have 4 of them and a couple that could be a huge boon to the defense of MG Sharks. And there goes one right now. The Dragon Strike has been used to try and batter the defense back.
They are up all in their defense's face right now, and Shiny's going to be picked off by the Primal Rage, but this cart still moves. That's the thing that matters. The defense will finally be getting the kills. Primex with the 3K on the Brigitte, and that will spell doom to that push.
Doom at the end of a flail, that is for sure. And, well, Shiny's in a really bad predicament. If they end up getting staggered, that could be a detriment, but now the reinforcements are starting to come back. But make note of this. Heavy will have 8 nano boosts very shortly. There is the EMP, the self-destruct, and there goes the EMP now, and actually got a couple of big members, but the big member that you would want to get is the ejection on the board. He did that and took 2 members with him, softened up the entire attack, and in a fallout of Mountain Dew, Doritos, and absolute awesomeness. That self-destruct has forced the defense to run to the hills, and Noir has unsheathed the blade to finalize everything. But it should be noted there is one still on the point making progress. That is Eric's, but was probably disposed of by Debbie's, but that could have been an inadvertent window brought in for the attack.
So cheeky of him to just get in behind and cause some form of pressure on this card. Doesn't seem to matter though. Defense still finding the kills. They found all of them. Diva Bomb coming down, and that will be it for this offense. Our worst push of the night for this map. Out of 3 pushes, it's not very.
Well,
it's not like it's that bad.
You made it sound so much worse than it actually was. It's not.
Yeah, it was a good time.
It's not. It's a pretty good distance, all things considered, because it needs to be said. It is considered by quite a few that the final point on Route 66 is one of the hardest to breach if an attacking side is stunned during any part of the 3rd phase, but especially where it ended up. It ended just by the truck. I call it the America truck because, well, there's Bald Eagle, the stars and stripes on there, so yeah, it's just pure America. Which, well, yeah, it's exactly what it says on the tin. But now, MG Sharks, you're feeling good right now. You're coming in off of a win on Ilios, a defense that got there in the end. It did look a little bit rocky briefly, but can you match the attack that the opposition of Fat 11 laid out for you?
Let's see what this defense sets up. Looks to be pretty standard, nothing fancy. Shiny will be getting that early information, and we saw I forgot my name going huge with that in our earlier game this evening. Will it work out the same way? It's actually not going up deep for the information, which is a little surprising to me.
Maybe a little bit late on laying down the translocator, but now Shiny's moving forward and has scouted the composition and maybe trying to get a pick on the Heavy. Did get no engagement, and that Zenyatta is toast thanks to the SMG there of Shiny. So that's definitely put MG Sharks on notice.
That's a huge opener, and that's what they were looking for. Noir going down is once again good for this defense as well. So a couple nice sets of picks as this Sombra is beginning to wreak havoc and cause all kinds of problems for this offense. Nettles is up deep as well as they try and press forward. And again, they're just finding these kills at will, it seems, right now. Fat 11 looking very good early on here.
Well, definitely being fat is the word. Fat is in large and mass. But poor Shiny, being the recon, did end up being slept and then promptly deleted by Glacier Shazy and Co. That's potentially a big ticket in for MG Sharks. But that might only be a small window which is already closed thanks to Noir going down.
Oh, the boop! Oh, the save! Tatsuna thought he was off a cliff, and he managed to jump his way back in because Winston defies all physics and can jump from midair.
He's angry. People can do weird things when they're angry. And well, speaking of anger, they're really flexing their muscle on the side of Fat 11, and look at where the cart is stuck. Right outside of Big Earl's, one of the first and most potent points of contention for any defense. And well, looking at the setup thus far, they're really stuck in. We're running to just about 2 minutes flat, and there goes the sound barrier on the side of MG Sharks. They really want to have a go at this.
Luke coming down, not able to find anything. Glacier Haze has found a kill for once on the Genji. That's a good start for him. Oh, but a great anti coming through. It looks like the kills will still be going the way of the defense. Fat 11. They're looking very, very good. However, look at the ult economy right now. There's only one ult on the defense. And there is currently 3 up for the offense. Although they did use a couple there, which was a little weird to me.
Yeah, a little bit of a scrappy fight, but MG Sharks strong-armed the defense just enough to get through. And looking at the old economy now, Shazy could get the assistance from Prime X and really want to have a go at the old Nano Blade. And there goes the Primal Rage and the Nano Boost on top of it. And the time was told by the McCree. Did do a lot of softening up, so Dubstep did do his job. Shazy did claim one. Swim did claim the offending McCree of Dubstep, but this defense did come back in time to at least try to battle back this attack. But Eric has actually gotten rid of Noir, and barring any shenanigans, this defense will actually hold strong. And now time is not the friend of MG Sharks. They're stuck outside the gate. They do have a lot of ultimates for themselves to go for it, but they do not have a lot of time. This fight is essentially one and done.
There's some, like, I guess the thing that's most questionable for me and MG Sharks is what Glacier Hazy did there. He kind of unnecessarily used the Dragon Blade, and I feel like he would have been better hanging onto it and having it for this engagement. This fight is so pivotal, though. Time is at an end as they're up here on the defense, and they find a big pick onto the Ana and McCree. Those are 2 very nice ones as this cart starts to move towards the end goal of .1. In their face, trying to find any kills on these defenders, and they'll get another one on to the Winston. The bomb coming in, they get off the point, finds the Winston, looking for some more, but the defense is starting to dwindle. The numbers are no longer there. It is 2 alive. Well, the spawns have come through. They might be able to actually pull this one off. This would be a miraculous hold should they do this, Cyberwaste. This would be insane.
Either a miraculous comeback or a huge oversight on the side of MG Sharks, and it looks like the opposing, looked like the Genji of Glacier Shazy just wanted to put a bow on it, but they just will not go down. Boy is ejected and then promptly gotten rid of, but it took such a long time and so much bled ult economy on the side of MG Sharks. They cannot be happy with how that all transpired. They should have had that one at least 30 seconds beforehand. Noir going down, that's actually quite huge given how pivotal he's been in a lot of these fights. And MG Sharks are fighting short-handed, and this could bring the cart to yet again another awkward position. And Primax actually whipped the sleep dart. And well, any attack that MG Sharks want to do is basically just going to be a fend for their lives and an abandonment of whatever plans they had laid out.
Another attempt coming through, and they're being greeted heavily by a couple of these tanks. Duddles, though, he might be in a little bit of trouble. And Noir on the Widows found the opening kill onto Shiny. It is the start of this engagement. Will they find anything else? And that's a $1 million question. Glacier Haze has been boosted. Doesn't have the blade yet, though, so he's doing what he can. Still finds 2 kills in spite of it. However, the boost comes back in on to the Winston. It's just Duddles right now to try and stunt anything, and he is going to have to try and fall away.
That's what they will do. Dosmoon does end up going down to Shiny, so that is a small consolation. And I really hope the stream did not see the high sends spin there from the Ana. It actually made me motion sick. But we see Glacier with the Dragon Blade, the Diva with the self-destruct with Tikak actually. And they're really wanting to keep this moving forward, but our Dubstep is wanting to battle everybody back, but it was not to be. And now with the Sound Barrier going up from MG Sharks, they're really wanting to hammer this home and open the gates to the next point.
Looking for these kills, trying to find what they can, and they've done a good job so far. Grabbing a couple as Glacier picks off an avocado. It's actually a trade. They kill each other. I love it when that happens.
Trades are fun. Takaka's actually blown back Shines, and now it is only playing the clock for the Lone Winston and compatriots that are on the point, and that will be them being sent down. 2 overtime pushes for the side of MG Sharks, but all things considered, you'd still just be happy that you're still alive and able to fight.
I mean, that is always nice when you can live. I hear living is a good thing, allegedly.
Yeah, living is a very, very good thing. Well, now it is moving in towards the Tunnel of Doom for MG Sharks, and they only have 1 minute to crack whatever defense the side of Battle 11 can throw at them. And they're definitely equipped to do so, just looking at their old economy and their hero line. MG Sharks have a huge seat to navigate. Shiny's been taken out, Glacier Shazy pays for it by being put to bed, and ended up taken out by an avocado, and the Nano Boost does come out onto the Winston of Donalds, and given the slate whiffed, the attackers will be extremely frustrated with how that's all transpiring. But this fight in the point is slowing, no signs of slowing down, with both Winstons angry and trying to push everybody back.
Oh, and the big Diva Bomb coming in. Will it catch anything? No, it will not. This fight is still coming in. The offense, they're finding all the kills. They're so very close. They're 3.5 meters away. Riptire will find Thought Rune, but it's not going to matter. The card is there. The cap is through, and MG Sharks are up 2-0.
Ooh, boy, it took a lot of work to get there. But despite getting it done in 2 overtime periods and a very tight third period, they got it done. And dare I say, that is not a Charlie 9 situation, given the entire whatever defense was there, it just got cut straight through, and that was the end of that.
And I've got to just reiterate something that chat has caught on to in this game. That's it. Cyber is crazy. Cyber is cyber waste, by the way. Yeah, I know top Aussie casters, but it's like whatever to me. Lol.
I am slightly mad, but I have to be slightly mad.
I love you, man.
I love you, man. But I'm proudly mad, but we are all mad here. And you know what is mad? The streak of MG Sharks. They are on a 2-0 run, and now we have either Hanamura or Volskaya to really contend with, where we will go right ahead.
I'm curious to see which one it will be, where he will go, how we will do it, what'll happen, what will be the third and final. I kind of hope that it's not Hanamura, just because we did that earlier tonight. So I'm hoping Volskaya. I don't know if you have a preference.
I'm yet to see Volskaya, and actually I'm really impartial to it. I'd like to see it, especially with maybe not so much anymore, but there used to be a lot of Sombra strategies that we utilize, and we've seen a lot of good Sombra play coming out this evening, and that may actually continue.
Well, they are trying to figure out which it is. They've been asked a couple times, and there hasn't been an answer.
We'll get the answer out of them soon enough. And well, even if it does go to Hanamura, what would you expect to see?
This is gonna sound like a low BM. So this is risky to say. I feel like what's gonna happen is it's gonna be like I'm just gonna throw out an arbitrary number. It's gonna be like 10 minutes of MG Sharks playing some weird comp and having it not work, and it'll be like 2 minutes of them playing some non-weird comp and having them win. That's just the way that I feel like all these maps have gone. Is they do weird things, doesn't work, changes up, does work. Who knew?
Well, we have had the final call there, and Boyd has said, "Give me Hanamura," and that is what we shall get. Well, maybe they will keep doing that, just doing weird stuff until it works.
I mean, how do you think some fetishes originated? If you're not doing something weird, you don't know that it'll like it. So maybe that's the new fetish of weird comps.
I'd use a different word, but I see where you're coming from. I definitely call it a mindset. You'd have to be extremely creative.
Have you ever just sat back though and thought about like who came up with some of the stuff that we do? Like who let some like wheat and stuff go bad and then decided to drink it and then like got a buzz off of drinking it and it's like, yeah, this beer thing's like this is pretty good, let's call it beer. Like what?
Thank goodness for beer and thank goodness for the brewers.
But like who, like, how do you come up with the idea to, like, it's stuff like that, man. I just don't get it. Like, how do you come up with the idea to do beer? Like, that just seems so weird. Or like, why we start doing some of the things that we do? It's weird. And maybe that's just like the way comps work. Is you try something that sounds so outrageous and it actually works. It's like putting French fries in your milkshake.
Yeah, maybe it's
pineapple on pizza.
It's like an equivalent of sweet science. Well, not that kind of sweet science, but it could be a sweet science all of its own. Maybe not as nuanced as boxing or any other combat sport, but there is a entirely different set of challenges and forethought that you have to really put into compositions. Like what works, what are we good with, what could really throw off our opposition, what works for this map. There's lots of variables that you have to think about, and perhaps a little bit of experimentation and madness is good for... It's good for the future of Overwatch because, at least as a viewer, I get to see a lot more cool stuff, and that's going to be extremely cool. And speaking of cool, we have a Mei on defense.
And speaking of cool, my name is Graham Dreamboat Morrison. I am joined by I Am Cyberwaste, and this is, of course, MG Sharks versus Fat 11 if you are just tuning in.
Indeed, and MG Sharks have the leg up at the moment. They are 2-0 up, and if they win Hanamura, it'll be goodbye and good night for this set. So, the side of Fat 11 really want to fight and fight right through whatever chewy defense the members of MG Sharks will go up, will put up for them. And now they've just moved straight to the point. They're brawling by the bell. And Dubstep has already claimed the victim. That is the Tech of Thoswood, and Noah fell shortly after. And just like that, in the blink of an eye, we've almost got a one fight. That's exactly what happened. Goodness me, the start of Fat 11.
15 in the bank! What?
7 minutes, 15 seconds. That is 7.25 minutes in fractions. And they are showing no signs of slowing down. And this has put MG Sharks on notice in a huge way. And there goes the convalescence from an avocado.
Well, they are brawling it out on the point. Coalescence not able to find anything but the offense. No signs of showing down. They've already got a tick on this point. And that was more than Apollo Rising were able to muster. They're going to get a second tick here as well. Third one is right around the corner. Glacy's getting right on the point. Heal starting to come forth, looking for anything they can. The hack's coming in as good. Graviton is on the point as well. It is just the hamster. He is gone, and that is... wow.
They have no idea what hit them. I'll be flat out. That just came in like a tidal wave of absolute destruction and mayhem. And that's what Fat 11 did. Just put down everything and just rolled right through the defense of MG Sharks. And golly, I don't think anybody was prepared for that. 7 minutes and 15, and then they barely even took a minute to cap the point out outright. So they have 6 minutes and 27 seconds in the back pocket should they require the time bank. Now, MG Sharks, after getting absolutely blindsided by what the side of Fat 11 have to offer. What say you? What do you got to reply to it? Let's set an open course for the Virgin Sea and see what happens next. That's the next lyric to Sailing Away by 6.
Attackers incoming in 30 seconds.
Yeah, I knew that at one point. I was blanking now. I'm blanking on a lot of things. I'm blanking on how Overwatch is supposed to be played.
Well, expect anything and everything in today's Overwatch landscape. Alright, and well, MG Sharks feeling extremely confident, not a tank to be seen. So it's essentially the French army, they don't really have a tank.
Well, fight coming through.
So Privex just got absolutely demolished mid-charge by Dubstep, so ooh, definitely gonna be feeling that big boom buggy right into his chest. Well, MG Sharks really not even playing with their food or still doing the experimenting.
Well, they're playing with something. Maybe fire.
Power? I don't see a power glove, so maybe not. MG Sharks really wanting to buy their time, and Privex trying to nudge somebody back, but it was not to be. But still, the members are slowly being melted away, but with Shiny being brought back into the fight and the health pool of the attackers being so small, MG Sharks are definitely toying with death. But Glacier Shades is actually taken back the recently resurrected Shiny. So it's not over yet for MG Sharks. They can actually make a go of this.
Well, they are starting to get this cap in. That's something. They're getting a second tick too. That's something else. What do you know? They're gonna get this third tick as well. That is also a thing. That happened. Congrats, they got a point.
That is a thing, and well, it's not the 7 minutes and 14.
You got the thing.
That is well, that's the wrong universe, but I can respect that all the same. A whole minute under the initial time bank of Fat 11, and actually going under the time bank of Fat 11 in the subsequent round should we require them. MG Sharks are still wanting to make a go of this, as fragile as the entire composition is.
Well, the ultis are starting to be used on this point right now. They're looking for any of these kills. A greater shatter though, catching 4 players. I'll try and stunt things out as Fat 11 are finding the kills. A beautiful cleanup. And that will stunt the offense. MG Sharks need to regroup.
Yep. And now they're rolling the dice again, and it looks like Lazy Shazy has rolled Widowmaker. Perhaps they are doing a odd changing thing, and Thoswin actually taken down extremely late by an avocado. I haven't made one reference to Velvet Hipsters in amongst avocados because there was a running gag of Smashed Avo being used as a mortgage for someone else.
So was the avocado moldy? Is that how it managed? How an avocado managed to take out another man? So because it was like rotten or something, and he ate it anyways, and he just had like food poisoning.
Dying by food poisoning.
How else does an avocado take out a human?
Who knows? But speaking of taking out opposition, MG Sharks are really wanting to make a go of it, and that entire defense is no longer existent. Privex really hanging on to that meteor strike until an avocado got to the range and felt the wrath of the fist. Borth is back at the mech and back on site to try and batter back any members of MG Sharks that might be straggling along. And, well, the members of Fat 11 are starting to tip the scales back. And if there is a small consolation, they don't have a tick against them yet.
And if there is the small confusion, it's the fact that MB Sharks, after running 5 support on map 1, are running 5 DPS on map 2. Or map 3.
Maps, they are really...
Oh, we got a second healer now, so we're only 4-2.
We're going to see a slow evolution into a more orthodox lineup, or is it going to remain a mystery full of change that no one sees? Ow! There goes Dubstep, planted against the wall. That's going to take a lot of recovery time, I Dubstep, but that right hand was good enough, and Donalds did get taken down by Noir, but Primax did end up paying for his additional frag with his life. And despite the best efforts of MG Sharks, it might end up being all for naught, although Blaze Shazy does take out Dubstep. So, despite everything, it's going about as good as you could have wanted for MG Sharks.
Oh, so many ultis still are out here on the field, though. Let's be Avocado picking off Primax. That's huge as the defense is still finding these kills. Eric's getting 2 of them is massive. And again, the offense is being stunted. This is looking so good for Fat 11.
Indeed, and there goes Noir being thrust off the map quite literally by the rocket punch of Blaze Shady being staggered away. And there we go, we see Ebby on... I don't remember when Ebby changed onto the Roadhog, but we do have a self-sustained healer. And the Soldier 76 with attack visor. The Meteor Strike for Prime X, but he's getting in amongst the fight very early on. There is the minefield for the members of MG Sharks to trudge through. And well, that's going to hold any type of advance onto the upper deck. And when Noir going down, any potential attack is going to be severely weakened now that Trace's pulse pistols and the potential pulse bomb will be pulled off the table. And well, MG Sharks is stuck between a rock and a hard place.
Oh, and this could be huge as Meteor Strike coming down. Not gonna find a kill. However, he is causing a problem. Dubsteps is bouncing around and behind. He's got the Pegida with them, and they're cleaning up these kills. This is once again going to work.
Alright, then we have 3 minutes and 45, and Noir being taken out extremely late. So now we're waiting for a full bank of ultimates. Noir's still waiting on the respawn, and perhaps the...
Did you say 3 minutes and 35? We're down to 1:20, dude.
I said a minute and 35.
I heard 3:35, and I was very baffled. That was my bad.
Either you're going mad or I'm going even madder. We'll have to wait and see how this will all transpire in the end. And given the compositions, it could be both of us going mental. Noir has already been stunned and brought down. There goes his sound barrier, and I-Dub7 has been forced into the eye of Jack Morrison and been shredded down. Primax has been feeling the right hand right through. Erickson still laying waste to the defense. Thorswood will be there to assist. And there is the self-destruct to pause back any further progress, and the Lucio will be sent out. So now this is MG Shark's best chance, is knowing the entire defense has been vacated until very recently. Now everybody is on the point and pushing back the attack. And well, we started with a very large time bank. It was about 5 minutes or so. And now we're down to 15 seconds, and this is looking very much like a Fat 11 map win and a potential map 4 on the horizon.
They're trying to get on this point. They're trying to find anything that they can. But again, they're being shut down. This defense is still too stingy. The kills are going all their way. And this is going to be the first map for Fat 11.
Well earned, and all the credit in the world to MG Sharks for trying to spook everybody, or at least try to be entertaining for the masses, given the composition that they gave to the world. As we see Ericsson Fat 11 bringing people back and really helping out his comrades to stave off whatever was thrown at them. So that's Fat 11 still living and shrinking the gap of maps to 1. And MG Sharks now have the power of choice. They either have Blizzard World or Hollywood for our next map.
And hopefully for the first round, they will connect to the server this time. And we'll see if we can get a little bit of a different start to that game. It'll be ideal, I think.
Indeed. I wonder if the pizza's kicked in yet.
Also, I would like to shout out Aiden CC12345 in chat. You did in fact say 345. He has my back on this one.
Ah, so I'm actually going mental.
What a guy! What a swell fellow! Thank you, Aiden. You are my hero.
Thank you very much. You've made Graham right in this instance, and we're going to
listen, Cyber. We have been over this. I am always right.
60% of the time, every time.
And Cyber, looks like we're going to Blizzard World. It's gonna be glorious. Can I get a hallelujah?
Shut up, Dreamboat. I'm calling you by your old alias. Take that. But now we have to...
Can I get a hallelujah?
I said... Shut up.
Twitch
No.
chat.
No.
Can I get a hallelujah?
Do not give this man the satisfaction, please.
This will be glorious. It is probably my favorite map in the rotation right now.
You've got a point, though. Blizzard World is quite the glorious map indeed, especially if you
Hallelujah!
If you've played the Blizzard titles for a long time. And if we were doing shoutouts, I would like to give a shout out to the competitive Overwatch Discord, who are watching this right now and grilling both of us. And it's actually quite fun. We appreciate you guys watching along. Go give my my right hand man.
Wait, we're being roasted. Where do I sign up? Where do I see this?
It is in the competitive Overwatch Discord, and they're just bantering in amongst the gameplay and the commentary.
Can I have an invite?
I'm gonna leave that to you to find out. And now, thank you guys very much. I'm pretty sure that the Discord in question have seen a lot of plays that are odd and really eye-opening, and if they were posted on Reddit, they would make a few of the members there have a brain aneurysm, but that's all part of the fun.
This game is the gift that keeps on giving. It is special in oh so many ways, and I'm just glad that I'm part of it, despite being completely broken on the first map.
It broke both of us in certain ways. It broke me during Hanamura. I was unable to tell time for a brief moment, so I guess it was a delayed effect.
Welcome to Blizzard World.
Welcome to Blizzard World, the happiest place on Earth, the happiest map in the game.
I mean, so many epic things that are on this map, and I am quite impartial to Snaxaravis, especially the ever so tasty looking hot dogs and the giant turkey leg that looks very reminiscent of the little turkey legs that you pick up in Final Fight that you find under the trash cans. I'm hungry now.
Anyone remember that song? No one says anything. Poor Bort. He just wants to have an engaging conversation while playing the game.
Bort was testing the waters of K-pop and was met with deafening silence. Oh, that's gonna sting, doesn't it? But your side of MG Sharks will be your defenders and your attackers will be Fat 11. And well, given what we saw on a similar map in Route 66, expect this one to go down to the wire as well. The gates are down. The park is open. Who will get stuck at the turnstiles and who will get free entry and ride all the rides and have no other lines to deal with?
Yeah, they're all hiding up top. Will it be expected? I think the Genji has spotted it out, so that's good information gained as they are wrapping onto this point, just trying to get as much of a tick as they can. Not going to be able to get one off the bat. The engagement is still there. Brawl coming through, Noir has been antied, but that doesn't matter as an Avocado has fallen. Lazy Hazy gets the DMAC, but still Thought Swoon getting a second kill. They're finding a few more here, and the defense will hold.
Well, that was actually quite definitive in the grand scheme of things. The only person to go down properly was Evie, but other than that, free and easy for MG Sharks as that first push is an absolute dud, and Shiny's actually decided to take to the air, which is actually quite big given if you look at the lineup of MG Sharks, there's no hit scan to deal with it. So if Shiny isn't dealt with in a proper timely manner, this could actually be quite a devastating barrage of bullets and rockets that is laying down the defense, and looks like Fat 11 have already got the cue to go.
Shatter not going to find anything as the defense is still finding all these kills. MG Sharks grabbing all of them. There is nothing to be found for Fat 11, and this is looking like the decisive MG Sharks that we were expecting to see come out here.
Indeed. Well, their defense is basically an iron wall, and whoa, big hook for Prime X that will turn him into a fly swatter, and Shiny has been brought to bear and now has the whole hog ready to go. They're hanging outside the tavern. Give me my free expansion pack to Hearthstone. And there is Dubstep unsheathing the blade and cutting Thoswood dead in half, but will be blown back by the self-destruct. And well, the side of MG Sharks are being the officials that run the park and run this town and saying, no free entry, go to the back of the line and try to get in by an actual means because you are not getting in for free.
Oh my, that was a little bit of flexing there. Someone showcasing their muscles as the big dogs run the yard. Control for MG Sharks. It has been so dominant. They are in complete dominating control, and they are here.
They're definitely tightening their grip, and if you're in as much of a driver's seat as you are, I don't really blame them. Dubstep will get rid of Noir though, so that is one opening given to them, and Bort has ejected Glazy Shazy, and an Avocado has actually laid waste to Thoswoon, and this defense, perhaps their confidence has actually come back to bite them, given a lot of them are now absent, and this point is right for the taking.
Yeah, they are in fact on it. They've got one tick. Here comes a second. No one can. Well, there will be a delay, so it's not going to be a straight through cap. The Shadow though got blocked. That's huge as Dubsteps has come in with a couple kills of his own. Looking around, they knock him off the point. There's the cap, and now that is a good Shatter grabbing two of them. Will they convert these kills though? It doesn't look like it. Oh, they grab the Zarya. I think the Hog will. No, he's being hunted down too. This is great pursuit from Fat 11, finding all these kills, and they've grabbed so much space right now. They have free reign of a lot of space.
We could call the MG Sharks current setup the Welshmat setup because it is nothing but tanks. But to the contrary of Fat 11, there are a couple of big tank busters, that being Shiny and Dubstep. Dubstep does have the Death Blossom at the ready to stop the opposed shenanigans, and there goes the barrage from Shiny. Does not claim any victims, does bring a few of them low though, so that Devi will be hard at work trying to either lay waste to the opposition or bring the comrades back up to good health. Shazy, Primex, and Noir are actually bringing the attack to a grinding halt and are bringing the members of Fat 11 under the tracks, and that'll be that. The first point has actually fallen to Fat 11. There's no question about that. Despite all the ults in pocket, MG Sharks will hold on for now.
And it is, again, MG Sharks with the out of left field compositions. 5 tanks and a Lucio is what they've got on the field right now. And it's worked better than I probably would give it credit to. I'm still not sure how I feel, but there is a great shatter. Avocado gets picked off, as does Duddles, and Port will beat D-Mac. So that was a huge shatter from Thoughtswoon, who has been absolutely insane on Ryan this game.
And Dubstep in Wraith form still has the Death Blossom at the ready, but has not found the opportunity to use it. And, well, maybe that could be the detriment, because the Sharks will definitely be circling and well aware of how things will happen. And there goes Shiny with the barrage. Does take out the lone healer and is still living. There is the Valkyrie to keep the comrades of Fat 11 topped up and in the fight. Dubstep has laid waste to Thoughtswoon and still has the Death Blossom in pocket. And there he goes, trying to at least force back the tank line or the tank wall of MG Sharks, and ends up getting the better of Noir and Fort, and the assistance of the Mercy will get placed out of the mech, and it wasn't clean, but Fat 11 do get it done and force back the forces of the MG Sharks, but time is not of the essence. They will be in overtime now, and if they leave the payload for too long, that'll be a little bit of a odd end to this first half.
Will be the contestant here on this point. Graviton Surge has come and pinned a couple people in the back lines. The bomb will go down. Will it find any kills? There's been a couple for both sides right now, but they're all away from the cart, and that's what matters. Round 1 is complete. They don't get to the first checkpoint.
They miss out on moving towards the third section of the map just because of sadly getting battled back by the Roadhog or the Whole Hog. That knockback is a main thing, and especially when there's an objective involved. If you're knocked away, the overtime goes down, and that will be where it ends in, well, a little bit of a disappointing fashion, because damn it, the forces that push me back, why can't I push forward? That's why, because you're getting whole hogged and it hurts. It hurts quite a lot. So now the win condition is set in stone for MG Sharks. Just move almost towards the second checkpoint, and that will be your set done and dusted.
And give them credit. They did show a bit of a defense on the first point, which is more to be said than they had for Hanamura. So perhaps this stage will go better than it did for them on Hanamura as well. Wouldn't that be something?
Maybe. We've seen stranger things happen. So maybe it could happen again.
Yeah, it's a bizarre night tonight. I even discovered that you have a fan club. I didn't think that was possible.
Neither did I. I'm a little bit perplexed. Like, why me of all people? But now,
it's because you've got beautiful hair.
Yep, that's what daily washing will do for you. And MG Sharks have.
Are you saying I don't wash my hair every day? That's rude.
I'm talking about my regimen. You never mentioned yours.
I thought that was like a slight at me. I was about to be real offended.
You took it that way, not me.
Alright, that's fair. But speaking of taking it that way, they've taken it right to the defense right now, putting some pressure on with a nice hack from Noir. Health is bad on a couple of these offensive tanks, so it might be wise for them to try and heal up. They are sending Jevy and Kak into the back lines. Both will be cleaned up. Hammond is still there trying to brawl it out. He's not going to have much luck. And this push will be over.
Indeed, Promax really trying his hardest to either find a mooring or try to get the heck out of there. And Eric's actually used the Bionade to put the killing blow onto that wasn't the back line. And
Well, now we'll see. I don't think we're going to see much of a change. I think they're pretty happy with this comp. A lot of ults here for the defense, though. Oh, no. Jack swaps over to Mercy. Here comes the first ult. It's the Riptire. Going up, around, down, south, rolling through. It's everywhere. It's here, it's there, it's everywhere. It's up in the face. It's not going to find a kill. Lazy Hazy charges through it. And the hack coming down on the point. It gets a couple people. The engagement starts to come forward. They're looking for these kills, and a Dragon Blade's coming forward. Oh, but the barrage, it gets reflected back into Shiny. So far, the only kill for the offense, though, as the remaining players are doing a great job cleaning up. Now, with 2 minutes left on the clock, MG Sharks, they've got a little bit of pressure on them now.
You can feel it mounting and getting ratcheted up the longer the time dwindles down. 1 minute 45. And, well, if you look at Noir, he's barely living, but has hacked himself a health pack, so that is a small consolation. If he could hack out either the Mercy or the Pharah and make them drop, that could be huge. But he did get the successful hack, but not without being put to bed. That could be the big enough distraction, though, to actually get the frag onto the avocado. Not an avocado, the avocado. And, well, it's forced the defense to be a little bit staggered now. There goes the Grabs surge from Boyd. And then Diddles will actually claim 2 with the charge. And the attack of MG Sharks have finally battled back. It took a lot of blood, sweat, experimentation, and a little bit of nuance from the Sombra. But the gate will drop. The payload will roll out. We are at 3 minutes and 20. Now the payload can play.
Will it roll past the Nexus experience? Will it get to pay dirt? That is the question we're looking for answers to. They are moving it forward right now. They have a little bit of space that they can get it comfortably. And now the engagement's going to start to come forth. This Pharah on Shiny is still throwing a lot of shots in. And we have the Symmetra pullout, which intrigues me. Let's see if it pays out. It's a bold strategy, Cotton.
Oh, my sweet goodness me. I mean, Fab's really feeling confident with his abilities, but Dubstep and Bort have taken down a couple of his comrades. So maybe I can respect the pick. I appreciate it, but that might be time to retreat. And it's definitely made use of the teleporter to get out of dodge, which is actually quite wise.
The big challenge that they have to deal with is they've got to deal with Shiny, who is seemingly quite comfortable in the skies, and that doesn't bode well.
Nope. The sun and stars are rather shiny, and Pharynx is not promo anymore, getting zapped to death by Fiddles, and Stone and the Mercy and Shockers have just been laid waste to, and Lazy Shady was the only reply. And Noir did get one late, but this Rubik's Cube or this boggle tray of MG Sharks compositions may have to settle if they want to win this map out.
Oh, Noir got picked off so far back. Shiny is doing so much work, man. This is such a hard spot to get through when this choke is just being spammed. Primex is going to fall as well. And this defense, they might pull this out.
Perhaps the strange things aren't really working anymore. It worked once, it won't work again. But there is the shield wall from the Symmetra that could be their way in. Just because it's so rarely seen, they may not know how to deal with it. And Dolph did get rid of Glaze and Shazy, but now the defense, well, was completely checked out from the side of Fat 11. And this payload will move through. But there will be another point of contention, and it will be in one that favors the side of Fat 11 quite heavily.
We are coming down to the wire, Justin, as we get into the final corner. Ulti will be used, boosting in the Winston, but he gets shut down by Noir. 2 kills right now for MG Sharks. They're looking for more. They found Duddles as well. What else can be found here? Oh, the Deadeye grabs Primex out of the sky. Glazy Hazy is down too. but it doesn't matter. Spoon finds one, and they don't get on the cart. They don't get away. MG Sharks have won it. They steal the game.
Stolen the game, and it was on the end of a critical Charlie Niner situation to boots. And that is how the Sharks will bite through their opposition and get the W today. But well, commiserations to Fat 11, you definitely did put on a show, and that is something to definitely be proud of.
Oh, Bay. What a game. Like, it's weird. I almost ruled MG Sharks out of that like 3 times. And it come down to the very end that they managed to pull it out. I honestly, like, I thought, like, we were going to a 5th map. I thought that's where we were. I thought we hit that point. But MG Sharks, man, when they're down and out, they managed to pull through. Well done to them, taking it 3-1 in Cyber Waste. You know what time it is.
Oh boy. The
Most valuable person.
Ooh,
Most valuable player.
It's a perplexing one to narrow it down to one player because we saw so many ebbs and flows. But the person that stuck out to me, because I'm the sucker for anyone who plays tank well, it was the centerpiece of the opening map. The one that MG Sharks swore to protect. The big, beefy, thick German boy who was played by Thorstwood. He'd be my MVP.
It's easy to go with that pick after that first map where he was the only like offensive force outside of tanks. But I'm gonna go a little differently. I'm gonna go with Jeffy solely for that Symmetra play at the very end. That, like, they had nothing going on offense, and he rips out this this random Symmetra pick. There's no way like this is gonna work. I'm questioning it. I think he's insane, and then he drops the wall, and it kills the ulting Pharah because he's shooting into the wall. Like, it opened things up, and it won them the map.
It's not.
It was also great across all maps too, but
it's not dumb if it works. That's all.
I didn't say it was dumb. I said it seemed dumb to me when it when he went to it. It seemed incredibly questionable, and he made me eat my words.
Well, you ate them and a piece of humble pie, and I hope you guys enjoyed your fill of Overwatch action this evening. I certainly did, and I'm just done. I'm completely tapped for the night, and I'm pretty sure that you, Mr. Graham Morrison, are in a similar pursuit. But
it is currently 4 a.m. for me, so I'm a little bit there. I'm a little there.
Well, that will be where we will end it. And well, Graham, do you have any parting words after that wild game?
I just gotta give I'm gonna give a shout out to some of my boys on Apollo Rising, Motion, Jadora, Pulsar, and Tech9, and to these new folks out here that are in this Discord that are apparently your fan club, like Angie the Cat, and Flibby, and LT Pirate Buck. They seem like good people, so I'm gonna shout out those people because everyone out there that tunes in and everyone out there that talks and keeps us engaged and try, hangs out with us. I appreciate it. I especially appreciate it when you put up with me. So thank y'all and have a great evening. Drive safe.
All right, and that'll be where we will conclude our Ascent coverage for this evening. It's been fun games and laughs had by all. My name is Justin, aka Cyberwaste. My right-hand man is Graham. My producer is Evan this evening. Good night, happy fragging, and be the best hero you can be.
it's all too much. I see it in you when you feel my touch. But I know that he's been falling off your mind. I'm hoping I can feel the space inside. And I wish I met you months ago, so I could tell you what you need to know, All this time that you've been on my mind, been wishing that I had you by my side. And you know if we come crashing down, no, I won't mind it when we hit the ground. Cause I know that you and I would make it through. No, I don't care if I'm crashing